Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am Empress Real 1584, the Good Witch. If this is your first time visiting me, I would like to thank you. While you're here, please like, subscribe, and share this channel. By taking this action, you will be helping the channel to grow. Also, take a moment to read my About page so that you can have some understanding about who I am. I will never copy another person's work, nor will I ever copy another person's title. That is because I am authentically me. This work is a part of my bloodline. I thank you for visiting, and I hope that you will return. Please check out my other videos. All are welcome to share his or her story in the comment section below, because your story may be a helpmate to someone else. My channel is a no judgment zone place for healing in some sort of way. If my video does not resonate with you, please do not try to make it fit your circumstances at all. For anyone else and everyone else that the message does make sense to, take from it what will help you on your journey towards your happiness in every area of your life. Once again, I am Empress Real 1584, the Good Witch. This channel is all about healing, so let's begin healing together. I was on earlier, and when I was on, I was showing you guys how I made my tea. I did a basic tea, but I was showing you how a lot of herbs and things of that nature that people try to use for different reasons and different ways can be found in your local grocery store. One thing about purchasing herbs from people who claim to be spiritualists, your intentions need to go on that. So if someone is sending you a sage bundle, you don't know what those intentions are, what type of person is sending you those things. You can make your own sage bundles. Most grocery stores sell dry sage, and all you have to do is allow your sage to sit on the counter when you buy fresh sage, and then bulk it together as thick as you want it to be or as thin as you want it to be. And then you take a string, and as you take your string, you wrap it around and you set your intentions on what you want to use that sage for as you're making your own sage stick. It's better to make your own sage stick because purchasing them from stores, you don't know what the next person's intention was when they made it. You don't know if they were a good person or a person that's not so kind. You don't know who you're buying those things from. So imagine using your sage around your home to ward off evil spirits when an evil person could have made your sage. It's better for you to make your own sage sticks, to clean your own home, to clean a person. And anytime that you are clearing a person's energy, you need to have good intentions for the person that you're trying to clean their auras. Make sure that you love that person. Make sure that you care about that person, because it won't work if you feel nothing for the person in general. However, I showed you how I made my tea, herbal teas. Anything that you use can be found out in nature. A lot of places in the South, they grow wild sage. You can pull off the side of the road and there's wild sage everywhere. There's wild bamboo as well, you know. You can find anything in the woods, right? If you have permission to go in those woods, and even if they belong to that county, then you will be able to go into that area. But make sure that you know what you're picking, what you're going to use it for. But it's better to make your own sage sticks. I hope everyone is doing well this morning. I'm doing a Cancer reading. Those of you who know me, you know that I always set the camera on the desk so that you will be able to see the cards as I am shuffling them. This is the only reading that I'm going to be doing today, so I decided to go for a Cancer reading. I hope everyone is doing well. I sincerely do. I know some people, they do celebrate the holidays. And cancers, let me just tell you about a cancer. You know, they are a water element. They're represented by the moon. But most cancers on a day like this, on any type of holiday, they would rather be home in a familiar setting, somewhere that feels cozy to them. They love cozy surroundings and they like to be around people who they care about. You know, some cancers, the holidays can present a challenge, especially if someone wants you to come over their house. If they want you to visit here and there, that's not what most cancers love to do. Some cancers in their adult age, if they have a significant other, some people may urge you to travel, but cancers love to stay close to home. And if they do travel, it has to be in a familiar setting, like going back to mom's house where you grew up, or going to a cozy cottage, something like that. It has to be somewhere where they feel secure. You know what I mean? And that's the truth. Cancers, they don't just like to roam around when it comes to the holidays. They love for their environment to feel secure. Today, I'm doing an awareness reading, and the awareness reading is a 6-card spread. Those of you who know me, you know that I always start off with my spiritual news deck, but we're not going to do that. Today, we're going to go straight into the reading. We're going to dive straight into the reading. I have already cleansed my space before the reading. My space has already been cleared. This is going to be the only reading that I do today. And this reading is for the sign of Cancer. I hope everyone is doing well. I sincerely do. I hope everyone is doing well. Let me ring my bell before I cut the cards. Okay. Let's begin. Spirit guides, help me to deliver the most accurate message that I possibly can for the sign of Cancer. Show me exactly what I need to see. Tell me what I need to hear. Thank you. I heard rush. I heard run. I heard rush and run for the Cancer. And there's a Cancer that may be watching that's dealing with some type of sinus infection. Maybe I feel like in between the eyes, right here in the head area, there's a heaviness. But I'm hearing for Cancer, rush, run, rush, run. I'm hearing rush, run. Cancer, the first card is where you stand. The second card is where you are going. The third card is your aspirations. The fourth card is your fears. The fifth card is your desire. And the sixth card is a hidden message, you know? And so that's what we have. We do have a bonus, making it a 7th card, and I'm going to put it over here. And we still have at the bottom of the deck. But I heard rush, rush. I heard run as I meditated over the card. What I get from that is, Cancer, there's something that you desire. Spirit is saying rush. There's something you need to do. Spirit is saying rush. There's something that you want. Spirit is saying rush. Do it quickly. Get up, run. Spirit is saying to run. Spirit is saying to rush. There's no time to move slowly. This is where you stand, Cancer. This is the number 3. This is the Empress card. Listen, that's a beautiful way to start off in a reading with the Empress, right? Because we all know that the Empress has so much abundance. The Empress desires abundance. Not only do they desire it, they have it. The Empress is feminine. Even if you are a Cancer male, you could be honing into your feminine energies. Each and every one of us possess both masculine and also feminine energies. But the Empress is beautiful. The Empress represents beauty. So I'm speaking to a Cancer who is beautiful, and you represent beauty, meaning that's how people see you. You are the creation, as in the mother, the nurturer. The Empress represents fertility. So that is giving life. Fertility gives life. Life to another human, giving life to an idea, breathing life into a situation. But the creation is about bringing something into reality. When the Empress is fertile and they're birthing something, to birth it, it has to grow. It has to be nurtured. So the Cancer is absolutely the nurturer. But the Empress is not a single person. So I'm speaking to a Cancer that's in a relationship, because the Empress represents marriage. There's a Cancer that I'm speaking to who is married. Cancer, you've been putting out great efforts, and you will be reaping the rewards of those efforts that you've been trying to create. The number 3 is all about creation. The number 3 is all about manifestation and abundance. There's a Cancer that's coming into abundance. So whatever abundance means for you, whether it's good health, whether it's financial, whether it's love, whatever the case may be, this is abundance. And you get to create, because you are the creator of it all. Angel number 3 is also known as the number of harmony. Cancers love peace. They really do. But if you bring them static, they will finish it, let me tell you. In the tarot deck, the number 3 is represented by this Empress card, as you see. The Empress signifies creativity, growth, abundance, just as well as happiness. Who doesn't want to be happy? If you're a person that doesn't want to be happy, stay away from me, because that's what this Cancer, whoever I'm reading for, desires, is to be happy. She is also fertility and the earth goddess. So the number 3 embodies the concept of wholeness or completion, as in the beginning, middle, and also the end. It also represents the family, as in mother, father, child. That's fertility. In many cultures, the number 3 represents the cycle of life, as in birth, life, and death, or life, death, rebirth, or even past, present, and future growth, because Cancers are the creation. Growth. There's a Cancer that's coming into abundance. So whatever it is that you desire, you have the power to manifest whatever you want on a grand scale, Cancer. The number 2 card represents where you're going, and this is the Magician. I love the Magician being here as where you are going, because the Magician is the number 1. The Magician is very powerful. As we see, the Empress is powerful in her own right. So combining these two energies, ooh-wee, that's a storm brewing, but a beautiful storm, because you are very resourceful. Whatever you manifest, you can bring it into your reality, because you are very creative, Cancer. So concentration is important. Concentrate on what it is that you truly desire and bring it into action. Bring it into its existence, because this number 1 is all about beginnings. It's all about newness, and it's all about change. So you have the power to change your circumstances. The number 1 encourages all of us to be assertive and to take the initiative in your life. If this is about love, as we saw with the Empress card, that there's a Cancer that possibly may be married, this is a fantastic sign to have that deep connection, that deep kind of love that most Cancers desire to have. Angel number 1 means true, intense, and lasting love is on the horizon. So we have the Empress, we have the Magician. The Magician can do whatever he or she desires because they have power. So bring in what it is that you desire into your reality. Remember, at the beginning of the reading, I heard rush. I also heard run. So Spirit is saying, whatever this is for you, bring it in quickly. Something is moving very fast. The number 3 card represents your aspirations. So the number 3 card is actually the Lovers. This is your aspiration. The Lovers is a couple, as I said, with the Empress, because the Empress represents a relationship. The Empress represents a marriage. Listen, the number 6 card, and we have it right here, is the Lovers. This is someone that you have a strong attraction for. There's a Cancer that is very attracted to their partner, their significant other. There's a Cancer here who is in love. And not just with the idea of being in love. There's a Cancer who loves whomever they are with. The connection is very passionate, but there's also a decision that needs to be made, Cancer. A strong decision. Spirit is saying, don't sit on this. You must rush. You must run. So whatever this is that you need to do, Spirit is saying, rush and run. You know what? Romance is in the air. So you and your partner are very attracted to one another. The Lovers is duality. What you give is what you get. What you take is what I take. You know, this is a give and take relationship. You both bring separate things to the table, but it equally balances itself out because the Lovers is a union. A union, as I said, with the first card coming out as the Empress, represents a marriage, a partnership, a relationship of some sort. But in numerology, the number 6 is associated with family. So you look at your partner as family. The number 6 is also a destiny number, and it does represent the planet Venus. It can also symbolize you, Cancer, being a natural leader. You have leadership abilities because the number 6 is also a master number, and they focus on your own needs and your own growth. Listen, when the number 6 appears, it's because there is someone that has already or will be facing a challenging time. That's why Spirit says, you got this. You can win. Rush, don't walk. Do it quickly. Run. You have the Magician. You have the power. So use your magic. We have the number 4 card. And the 4 card is your fears. This is the number 12. This is Hangman. Now, Cancer, let's discuss your fears. What's going on? Why is Cancers in this despair? You fear transitioning. You fear that growth. You fear this beautiful abundance coming in. There's a fear here. But guess what? Sometimes something has to be sacrificed in order for something to grow. Now, you may be looking at something that's sacrificed as something negative, but sacrificing is not something that's negative. What it actually represents is your growth, you moving ahead, getting rid of whatever it is that you fear, that you are afraid of. rid yourself of those fears. They don't belong where you are going. You can't carry fear into this newness, into this new beginning. So that's what's challenging for you at this present time, is your fears of you transitioning, growing. Some people are afraid to know what the future is going to look like. Then others, they don't want to know what the future is going to look like. They're like, I'm going to go with the flow. Whatever happens, happens. But the universe is saying, I'm giving you a front seat into your future. So you can't bring fear with you. You have to leave fear in the past. You have to let it go. Surrender. Because the hangman has to surrender. The hangman is like, I'm so comfortable with where I've been. I'm not sure of where I'm going. So the hangman has to let go of what felt good, what felt secure, because the universe is promising you something different, a different life, a different way to look at it, a different perspective. Let me just say that to you. But the number 12, we're going to discuss this number 12 because it's important. Some of you may have been seeing this number 12 everywhere, and the rest of you will begin to see it in a day or two. There's a good chance that the angels are trying to communicate with you. The divine forces have something important to tell you, Cancer. There are 12 months in a year. There are 12 signs of the zodiac, and there are 12 hours in a day. There are significant changes happening, as I just discussed with you, in your life, and you're being called to rise, Cancer. Don't walk, run. You're being called to rise. Spirit wants you to stand up quickly. You're being called to rise to your full potential, to use your power as the magician. Listen, you have all the tools that you need, and also the resources that you need for this fresh start, because this fresh start is being given to you, Cancer. So have faith and trust. Don't fear the unknown. Embrace it with positivity, knowing that anything and everything is possible, because faith and trust affects our subconscious mind. Number 12 holds many secret meanings towards your personal growth. So have faith, Cancer. Have faith in yourself and your ability to create. As the Empress creates, the Magician creates, the Lovers create, and now with this Hangman, no more indecision. This is you all knowing. It's time for you to create the life that you desire, Cancer. So have trust that you are on the right path. No more being afraid. No more fear. Let that shit go. It doesn't belong with you in your future. You've dealt with some situations, some things, some people, and it's time for you to let go and embrace. No more being in this hangman position. It doesn't look good on you, Cancer. That hangman, that indecision, that fear, it doesn't look good on you. So now we have the number 5 card, and this is your desire. The 8 of Swords. This person, look at her in a cage. This is your desire. You feel stuck. You feel trapped. You've been isolating yourself. But guess what? This is self-imposed restrictions of feeling helpless, because there's always a way out of a situation, and it's being offered to you, all this abundance, all this growth. Spirit is saying, get out of that victim mentality. It doesn't look good on you, because victim mentality is actually fear, which creates anxiety. So get out of that negativity. Leave those negative thoughts alone, because they can't go with you into this new beginning, this new cycle of life. We have the number 6 card, which represents a hidden message. This is the number 17, which is the star. Cancers. For those of you who didn't know, But most of you who do know, Cancer, you are the star of the show, let me tell you. So you could be a Cancer that has a Leo cusp. You understand what I'm saying? You could be that July Cancer that I am speaking to at this present time. But there is a Cancer here that is a star. And there's a Cancer here that forgot their power. They forgot who they are. And sometimes we often need to be reminded, not so much so by a person, but by your own attributes. When you look in the mirror, sometimes we have to remind ourselves that you are the star of the show. The star represents hope. So when you leave the fear alone, hope. Hope is so powerful. Hope is believing. So we know that the star has hope. You are the star. Healing. The star is very healing. The star has faith. The star is very creative. The star has inspiration. They inspire themselves. This star has confidence. See, listen, these are all the attributes of that Leo. There's a Cancer here with the Leo cups, and there's a Cancer here that's beautiful. You need to turn around and look at the mirror and see yourself for who you truly are. Not because someone says you're beautiful. This is you all knowing. But the star represents money. The star represents luck. The star represents fame. The star represents fortune. And the first card that came out is the Empress. The Empress is rich. The Empress is full of abundance. Rich can mean good health, financial wealth, success, fame. That's what the Empress embodies. And that hidden message is you are the star. You see, Cancer, the number 17. You are, if you are someone who is single, you're looking in the wrong places for happiness. If you are a Cancer who is with someone and you're not with them because you are in love with them, you're with them just to be with them, you are looking in the wrong places for that happiness. If you are a Cancer who is just, you ever received a box of chocolates and you just start biting all of them until you find the one you like? If you are that type of person that's going through that, you're looking in the wrong place for happiness. Because did you know when you get that box of chocolate, when you open the box, there's a map. When you open it, under the lid, there's a map that shows you the position of the chocolates. So you actually don't even have to bite all of them to find your desired piece. There's a map. See, you just want to go through the bullshit. You just want to taste. But there's a map. If you look up, you'll be able to see that you don't have to keep dealing with all of these bad situations, going through these bad scenarios, because there's a map. The map tells you that, hey, this one is chocolate with almond. This one is chocolate with raspberry. This one is chocolate with caramel. You don't have to bite them all to get to the one you want. Spirit is saying, rush, run, because it's right here. You're wasting precious time. Messing with the wrong type of people, staying in situations where you don't belong, you're losing time. Time is something that none of us ever get back. So you need to work on your inner love, Cancer, and tranquility to find what you're looking for. Never, ever, ever, Cancer, look for happiness in another person at all. Don't do that. That's a waste of time. You know what? You're going to be disappointed every single time. that you look for happiness within another person. And if you're doing that and have been doing that, you will be disappointed in that person as well as yourself every single time. I promise you. If you're looking for happiness with a substance such as alcohol, drugs, whatever the case may be, or even sex, you will still be disappointed. A substance as far as drug, alcohol, or whatever, or whoever it is, you will never ever feel complete. That missing part of the puzzle is in you, Cancer. Love every part of you, even the parts that make you think that they are flaws. Love every wrinkle, every bump, every scar, every fat roll. Love all of yourself. Embrace you. The number 17, when you start seeing this number, you may have already begun to see it. It will symbolize that you are on the right path to personal fulfillment on a spiritual level. The number 17 suggests that you must look for happiness within yourself rather than something else or someone else. You likely might not be feeling great at this moment, but you can't really put your finger on what's going on, what is wrong with you, Cancer. That dark cloud that seems to be following you will soon disappear when you start seeing the number 17 on your clock, on your microwave, on your watch that you wear, on your wrist, wherever the case may be, on a person's license plate. That number 17 is going to be important because every time you see it, you'll be like, shit, I'm beautiful. I'm gorgeous. I'm going to be successful. Matter of fact, I am successful. I don't need the alcohol. I don't need the drugs. And I don't need to keep laying down with Peter, Paul, Jim, Mike, Bob, Sue, Mary, Jane. Because I can find all of that within myself. You understand what I'm saying? You can find all of that within yourself. Cancer, you are the star. Never forget that. You are the star. Please never forget that. And we have a bonus card, which is the devil. The devil represents all those things that I just said. It represents someone being addicted to alcohol. You know, sometimes people drink that alcohol for liquid courage. You could be addicted to sex, just around here sleeping with whomever for whatever reason, thinking that they're going to heal you in some way, fill you up, but you always feel depleted. Even after you lay down with Jim, Harry, Bob, Bill, Sue, Mary, Jane, and Brenda, you still feel depleted. Have you ever laid down with somebody and you're screwing? And while you're screwing, you like, what the F am I doing? Why am I laying with this person? This is a waste of my time. Because you feel depleted. Listen, stop putting yourself in those positions. It's time to nurture you. So the number 15, that bonus card, it's a piggyback off this number 17. The number 17, every time you see it, I am that girl. I am that guy. I am successful. I am abundant. I am gorgeous. I am beautiful. I am handsome. Every time you see that number 17, let those things hit the core of you being all-knowing of who you are. 15 is a Capricorn card. It represents addictions, obsessions, those attachments that we have to things that don't serve us. But it's time to put restrictions on those things and not allowing you to fill yourself up off of things that don't serve you, that you don't need. We have the number 11, which is justice. At the bottom of the deck, Cancer. Listen, some of you may be going through legalities. And if you didn't know, you're going to be successful at whatever legalities that you're going through. You're going to be successful. You're going to be the victor. But there's also going to be some truths coming out. So get ready for that, Cancer. Justice, there's going to be a truth coming out. See, every cause, there is an effect. There's someone in your life that has to take accountability for his or her actions, for there to be some balance between the two of you. But whatever this truth that's coming out is going to be fair. The situation is going to be fair. The number 11 is a message from the angels concerning your soul mission and your greater life purpose. So when the angel number 11 comes out in a reading, it's a master number. The number 1 and 1, your angels are sending you inspiration and encouragement to develop your abilities in ways that will help all of humanity. That means you continue to be you because you are a nurturer. You are a good helpmate, a good friend to many. Angel number 11 symbolizes the principles of spiritual enlightenment and awakening, and is a reminder from your angels that you have come to this physical world from the realm of spirit. If the angel number 1 is about leadership, positivity, optimism, and you taking the initiative, understand that master number 11 multiplies these attributes to a higher power. The magician, you have the power. So the number 11 represents a transmutation of your personal power to a higher, more spiritual one. Your personal power is stop laying down with these does to fill you up. No one is going to fill you up. No one is going to make you happy. You have to feel complete within self. You have to feel complete with yourself. So there's going to be some truths coming out, but it's going to be fair. This is not an argument. This is not you having a quarrel with someone else. This is you having an adult conversation with someone. There's going to be some truths coming out. That's justice. There's going to be fairness. There's going to be a balance. But when this truth comes out, always know that there is going to be a consequence for someone. See, a lot of people like to start trouble. And when they start trouble, they don't understand the consequences behind their actions. But there's going to be some consequences. But Cancer, you are going to be the victor. You're going to be looking at this person or these people and be like, I told you. I told you. You said, thankfully, I've been abstinent my whole life. These seems like too much. You said this seems like too much. You know what? I'm glad you've been abstinent. When my children were younger, I used to preach abstinence to them. I was a teen mom, and people would say because I was a teen mom that my children would in turn become teen parents as well. And that was not true. I am a grandmother of one from my third born child, my daughter. And each one of my children, I can tell you when each one of them lost their virginity because we had that open relationship. We had that conversation. And I'm a mother of 5, so with the exception of my one, my children lost their virginity as adults, not teenagers, but as adults. With the exception of my oldest son, he was just a hound dog. So he lost his virginity as a teenager, but he didn't bring me any babies home. I do speak, and especially with the world that we live in, I'm 52. And when I was growing up, later on is when HIV, AIDS became something big. And then we were told that it could come in many forms and fashions of how a person would get it. So a lot of people did try to protect themselves by using contraceptives and things of that nature. But the world that we live in now, they talk about HIV, AIDS as it's no big deal. And it is a big deal. It is a big deal because it's your life. It's your life. So with you being abstinent, I commend you because it's hard not to be tempted, but it's also hard when you're talking to someone, getting to know them, to say, hey, let's go get tested together so that we can know what each one of us has versus what we don't have. And that's a true story. Like my husband and I, this is my second marriage, and this is his second marriage as well. But I took the initiative to bring my paperwork to the forefront. Look, and that's what a lot of situations should be. When we were younger, well, when I was younger, 52, I'm 52, that wasn't a thing. But the state where I'm from, in order for a person to be married, it was mandatory that you and your significant other, you did blood work before you got married, before you can get your marriage license, before you can say I do, so that therefore you wouldn't be going into a relationship blind, your partner bringing something to you or you bringing something to your partner. Now, in that state, that law is no longer, but guess what? When my second husband and I got married, it wasn't a thing, but it was a thing for me. It was important that I brought my paperwork to him to say, hey, I'm clean. And he did the same thing for me. So with you being abstinent, I commend you because this world is rough. We have so many people, and I mean no disrespect to anyone, but if anyone gets offended, that's on you. But I'm always going to speak my truth. We have so many men who are on the down low, which is wrong, because if you want to live in your truth, be truthful to the one you're with. You don't bring that shit to somebody else. When you know you have something, it's wrong for you to want to pass it off to people. I know personally people that have this virus and they have passed it along. And I remember hearing one of them say, if I got it, I'm going to make sure somebody else got it. And that's fucked up. And so me, the person that I am, yes, I told people, hey, yo, you know she got the package. I did that shit. I did that shit because I don't want her to end up laying with one of my kids or somebody in my family or someone that I care about. But people, they act like it's not a big deal. And it is. Your health is a big deal. Some of us want to live as long as we can, and some people don't. But no, I respect abstinence because that's where we should all be and not being so free, right? But to each his own. Everybody has the right to do what they want. I'm a mother of 5, so you know I wasn't abstinent, but I never had anything. I prided myself in that. And at 52, I still pride myself in that. And it's crazy to me how many stories I see, even online, with people coming up here like, as a matter of fact, I got this. And a matter of fact, like it's not a big deal. And it is. Because each person that you meet, as soon as you meet them, are you going to walk up to them and be like, look, I got the package. When I was growing up, they used to call it the Kool-Aid. Hey, I got the Kool-Aid. So while you talking all that tough shit, talk that tough shit when you meet somebody so that they can decide if they want to F with you or not. That's what you call respect. But now that we know that everybody is not on the same page, what can you do? You have to protect self. I tell my kids, take your partner and be like, look, we got to go to the doctor together. And we can't touch each other until I know what you got, you know what I got. Because a lot of these paperwork, a lot of people fake. No, I don't want my doctor to send it to me online. Let's go together. My husband and I, we go to the doctor together. We go to the doctor together. And you know what the doctor always says? Do you want to talk in front of him? Or his doctor may say, do you want to talk in front of her? Fuck yes, we do. We want to say everything. We need to know everything. However, I commend you for being abstinent. And you it's a scary world. It's a scary world because these people talk about these diseases like it's not a big deal. And it's a big deal. Especially for someone who doesn't want it. For someone who didn't ask for it. So when you know you have something, anybody that has AIDS or any type of disease should be incarcerated when they know that they have it and they knowingly passing it off to someone else. They should be incarcerated for life. It should be their lives taken away, their freedom, because you've just given someone a death sentence. So the same in return should go for whomever that know that they haven't and knowingly passes it to another person. That's how I feel. But let's get back to this Cancer reading. Let's get back to this Cancer reading. Let me put this camera back on. Spirit guides, help me to deliver the most accurate message that I possibly can for the sign of Cancer to clarify this reading. Thank you. Yeah, did you see that card just jump? This is card number 1. Ew. That's card number 1. Let me tell you, that's a beautiful card. That's where you stand, Cancer, at this present time. That's where you stand. Ooh, my goodness. I have to take them in the way that they fell out. Card number 2. This is card number 3, card number 4, card number 5, card number 6, and we're going to take this as a bonus card, and the rest are going back in, and then we'll get to the bottom of the deck in a second. Cancer, we're going to clarify this with where you stand. You remember, you received the Empress. The Empress is fertility. She gives the gift of life. You have the power and the resources to change your life. I'm a Cancer moon. As the reading, usually resonates with me. Thank you. I'm glad it resonates with you. Beautiful. Know that you are beautiful. Know that the first card that came out is the Empress. The Empress represents abundance. Take that. And whatever abundance means for you, claim it. Abundance, health. I'm healthy. Thank you, Dawn. Abundance, wealthy. Claim it. I am wealthy. You know, you are the Empress, which is creation. Marriage. This card is being represented. I said that this Empress is married. This is a person that's married. You could have been married, or you could be in a long-term relationship and it feels like a marriage, right? But if you're not, you are attracting a long-term partner. That's what this card means. Marriage. Marriage is for the long haul. So you are attracting a long-term marriage, a long-term relationship. You know, let's just say that. But this, for someone here, it may be a new partner, a new person that's coming in, and that new person may be divorced. So you could be meeting someone that's already been in a marriage, but they are ready to be married again. So that marriage represents you attracting long-term love. Or this could be a person that you're going to meet that once upon a time was married, who is divorced, but they are ready for marriage again. That's where you stand. And this is where you are going. Listen, right now there's somebody here that's a hot mess. and it's being represented by the magician. You don't have to be in that energy of being a hot mess, because that energy keeps you down. So you are the magician. You can get up out of that funk of feeling miserable, of feeling unhappy because something didn't work out or something that didn't happen for you. Because remember, the reading, it gets better and better. But this is your aspirations at this present time. So the lovers, a committed relationship, or that new person that's coming in, a partnership long term. But here's a bridge that represents that. This is the bridge. Now, this is another phase of life. That hot mess that you were feeling down, discombobulated, like you were stuck in this bubble, it's time to burst it, because the bridge is a transition. You were on this side of the bridge. Now it's time for you to go to this side of the bridge. What awaits you on this side is that new beginning. This is you bridging the gap. I no longer want to be in this feeling of feeling depleted, of feeling unwanted, unloved. I can't be in that energy anymore, and you don't have to be. But there's a bridge. And that bridge, it seems like it's long, like it's going to take a long time to get there, and you're not stuck. Bust that bubble, get up out of that situation, and cross that bridge. This right here represents your fears. This is the number 4. That hangman. Ooh, holding on to past situations. Now, this represents the hangman, and we spoke about that self-image. We spoke about someone who doesn't feel beautiful. And I don't know why. There's somebody here that doesn't feel beautiful. And so you're thinking about improving your self-image. So you may be thinking about plastic surgery. Really think twice about that, because let me tell you, we all have seen, and I'm not calling out anybody's name, we've seen some stars with money, right? And they have gone to some plastic surgeons, and their whole face changed, and they look a freaking mess. Let me just say that. So be careful with who you go to. Make sure that this is who you want. I'm not going to tell anybody not to do what they want to do. I don't give that kind of advice, right? Because you have to do what's best for you, but you don't need it. You don't need it. I'm going to tell you that, because remember I said earlier, look at yourself. Look in the mirror. Do you know, I told this story before, and I'll say it again. When I was younger, the boys in my school, like middle school, they would say I had a big nose. Look, they said that. They was like, ooh, her nose like a pit bull. So me, I'm a Cancer too. So the Cancer that I am, I'm that July Cancer. Anybody that said I had a big nose, pop, 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 I did. And I will always get in trouble. I ain't know why. Because I'm like, they picked on me first. And they will always say, you just can't go around putting your hands on people. And I'm like, why? I didn't understand why. That's right. That's right. I'm glad you feel motivated. Let me tell you, especially me, I get up, I get dressed according to the way that I feel. I can get dressed and I'm in my house and don't go anywhere. My husband will be like, where you going? I'm like, nowhere. Well, why you dressed? Because I feel like it. This is how I feel today. I feel good. So I don't get dressed for people. I get dressed according to the way that I feel. But let me just tell you, this is someone here that's focusing on them. And it's time for you to hone in on your confidence. When I got in high school, the same people that said, oh, she got a big nose, her nose like a pit bull. Now I'm really looking at them and I'm like, did I let them say that about me? Because as you grow, you change. And they started looking weird to me, but I never said anything. I'm just like, ew. So in high school, as we got older, guess what happened? I became her, which is me. And all of them that used to talk all that junk in middle school about this big nose, they all wanted this big nose. So I'm like, nah. So I got a pleasure of anyone that wanted to try to talk to me to say no. Listen, it made me feel good. It made me feel good to be like, oh, I felt like Mike Jones. Back then, you didn't want me. Now I'm hot and you're all on me. But that's how I felt. Let me just say this. Self-image is how you see yourself. It's not about how someone sees you. It's how you see yourself. Plain and simple. Do you know a lot of these women and men that had plastic surgery, they wish they didn't get it. They wish that they looked like their old selves. I promise you that. When they take a look at the way they look now and they look at their old picture, they're like, damn, why did I do that to myself? A lot of people live in regret. This is me. I don't care what any person thinks about me, feels about me. It doesn't matter. And this is my same nose. And all my kids have the same nose. My mama has the same nose. And I wouldn't change it for anything in the world. Yeah, some people may say it's big. I like it. I like it. And them same people, not now, but when I was single in my inbox, they was hitting me up. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. I just like saying no. But there's a cancer here that has to work on their self-esteem. I had my oldest daughter. One morning, she's in her 30s now, but she's up here. She's a makeup content creator. And I call her my chocolate bunny. And one morning, I sent her in the store to get me a cup of coffee. And when she came out of the store, the look on her face was not the same as when she went in the store. So mama knows. So I got out the car. I said, what's wrong? She was like, it's nothing. Come on, Mom, let's go. I said, So I went in the store. And it was two girls. They were getting hot chocolate. And I walked over to them and I said, one of y'all said something to my daughter? And they was like, what? And one of the girls was like, who you talking to? That was your daughter that just left out of here? I was like, yeah, I'll meet y'all outside. So when I went outside, I never paid attention to the car that was parked by my car. But there was a car parked by my car, and there was a woman in there. I'm a big girl. So the woman in the car was a big girl. So I said, knock, knock on the window. I said, do these girls belong to you? She was like, yeah. I said, they was in there picking on my daughter. So now the girls came outside. She was like, all I said is she has big eyes. I said, she does have big eyes. They're beautiful. She's gorgeous. She look better than y'all bitches. The mother was like, what you say? I said, she look better than you too. So I'm always for the smoke. He not through with me yet. They still working on me. And I said to my daughter, get out the car. I said, never let another person ever make you feel less than. When you went into the store, you had a smile on your face. I said, all of these ugly bitches, that's what I said. The mother ugly, the daughter's ugly. I said, you don't let anybody take you away from you, how you feel about yourself. I said that in front of the lady. Do you know, the mother just looked at me. I'm crazy for real when it comes to my kids. She was like, Mom, no, Mom, nothing. No, Mom, nothing. No, ma, anything. You don't let anybody take you away from you. I need that smile back on your face before you went in the store. Do you know when we pulled out the parking lot, these fuckers ended up at the next store we went to? So my daughter was like, I ain't getting out the car. I said, bitch, I ain't raised no punk. You getting out the car. So she got out the car. I was like, head up, head up. So the mother was like, you trying to start something? I said, no, I'm just waiting for you to get out the car so I can hold it for the ugly people. That's what I said. My daughter was like, Ma. I said, because nobody is going to take your smile away. Ever. Never let anybody do that to you. Damn it, there's a cancer here. Feeling insecure for no reason. It's not about how another person feels about you. It's about how you feel about yourself. True story. It's about how you feel about yourself. And I promise you, all these people that's doing plastic surgery, guess what? They regret it. Listen, somebody told me I should have been a comedian. Thank you. Listen, somebody said I should have been a comedian. One day I'm going to do open mic, right? They may boo me, but it's okay. But I'm going to do it too. And one day I'm going to do karaoke. My daughter said when I do my content, never mention a singer, a rapper, or anybody's name. She was like, because they have people that follow them and they may try to attack. And I'm like, I ain't never been scared. I never been scared. But let me just say, self-image is about how you feel about yourself. True story. It's about how you feel about yourself. There's a rapper that just recently got a nose job. And she got a nose job because everybody kept telling her how big her nose was. And people are cruel. People are mean. Somebody's always going to look at you and find something wrong with you. But it's how you look at yourself. Listen, I'm not going there with you. I'm not going there with you. But I'm just saying, she ain't need to do that. She didn't need to do it because she was gorgeous in her own right. Listen, I got my mom's nose, so I'm keeping mine. There's someone here that their self-image is how you feel about yourself, I promise you. It's how you feel about yourself, but people regret it because it changes their whole face. And once they do one thing, then they're doing something else and something else and something else, and they'll never feel completed. You have to feel that from within. Let me tell you, we have the number 17, which is the star. You have to know who you are, and that's represented by isolation. There's someone here who wasn't feeling good about themselves. Remember, feeling like a hot mess, and you were choosing to be alone. Guess what? Get up out of that, because life is going to be fine. Life is going to be what you make it. And in the words of Langston Hughes, life is fine as wine. You are the magician. You get to change the narrative. You get to rewrite your own story. No more being in isolation. Not unless that's something you want to do. The bonus card that we had was the devil. Right? What happened with the devil? Those addictions. Sleeping with people unnecessarily. Not feeling completed by the people you've been sleeping with. Drinking, getting drunk, doing drugs, getting high. But guess what? Those same feelings that you had are still there. So they represent nothing. They didn't help you. It didn't make any of your problems disappear. So now we have business. What is business? Business is to work on yourself. That's what business is to work on yourself. Work on you. We're not going to talk about business as far as a career or anything like that. Work on you. You know how they say, mind your business. You mind your business and you work on you, because that's minding your business. I'm going to stay over here. I'm going to take care of me. I'm going to balance me out. I'm not going to care about what another person says or thinks about me. At the bottom of the deck, you receive some justice. And at the bottom of the deck, we have up in the air. Up in the air, that represents the justice card. This is you not knowing where you stand. And if this is about another person, not knowing where you stand up with that person, can I say, screw them? Because if a person is not letting you know where you stand, you don't need to question yourself about it or them. Let them be who they are. Let them do what they're doing as you do what you're doing. So you have a decision to make. Remember, you are the magician. Excuse me, my camera froze on my end. And excuse me, my daughter's playing music in the background. I don't even like the music that she plays sometimes. The new hip-hop artists, I'm like, ugh, I'll come from old school. But you're uncertain about something. The one thing that I can say with you being uncertain about something, at the beginning of the reading, when I meditated over the cards, Spirit says, rush. Spirit says, run. Listen, there's a decision that needs to be made. You feel like you're lacking stability within a certain situation. Spirit is saying, get up, do what you need to do. You are the magician. You have the skills to bring in whatever it is that you desire to have for yourself. So something is up in the air. Spirit is saying, make a decision and get it done. And I totally bypassed the number 5 card. But this is the 8 of Swords, feeling stuck, right? That's same thing with the hot mess. But stuck, you feel like you have unfinished business with the person or situation. And you feel like something was left unfinished. Sometimes things are best left alone. A lot of people feel like I need to tie something up. I need to ask one more time, is this the way that you want it? Let's just say if someone said, it's over, we're breaking up. And then a week later, you're like, let me get them a call and see if they really meant it. Damn it, they said it. They meant it. So there's nothing that needs to be tied up. There's nothing that needs to be fixed. Because now you're trying to look at it, the situation of whatever it is, in more ways than others. So you're trying to see things through their eyes. You're not them, so you're not going to see it the way they see it. Now you're looking back through your eyes and you're like, okay, maybe if I could have did this or did that. But there's a situation to a Cancer. They feel like something was left unresolved. And sometimes you don't get closure. Sometimes it's not necessary to get closure. The ego wants us to have closure. The ego says that we need closure, but you don't. The ego wants to be satisfied, but you don't need it. Sometimes you have to let things be as they are. You have to let things go as they are. And nothing needs to be said or done. But at the bottom of the deck, we have answers. Oh, wow. So, answers. This is the key. I did the last Cancer reading that I did, they had the key. And that key opened many doors. Not saying that this is associated with the last Cancer reading that I did. that I have on my YouTube platform. If you didn't get to see it, go on over and look at it. Hit like, subscribe to me over there. But this is where the key should go. With the key having to go there, that's any problem being resolved. That's you now stepping into the unknown, knowing that everything is going to be okay. Because we came into this reading not knowing, holding on to fear, holding on to things that were comfortable. Now we're letting go of what feels comfortable, stepping into the unknown, knowing that things are going to be okay. Fear stops us from doing the things that we need to be doing for ourselves. Fear stops us from getting ahead, moving ahead in our lives. Fear cripples us, some. It handicaps us, some. But we can't live there, because with you holding on to fear, that creates no movement. And how do you get ahead if you can't move? So now, with you having that keyhole of where the key goes in, that last cancer reading, they had the key. Now here's a door that you can stick that key in, turn it, and you get to create the life that you desire to have for yourself. Remember, you are the magician. You are the magician. And to the Cancer that is thinking about changing themselves, go look in the mirror one more time. And you may see something that you like. Because are you trying to change yourself based off what another person said? What makes them the professional over who you are and what you're supposed to look like? You know, words do hurt. Sometimes words hurt worse than physical harm. Words are, they cut. They leave scars. But you have to think about who's leaving those scars. Think about who's leaving those scars. And is that person words enough to affect your whole dynamic of your life? Nope. No one's words ever can hold power over who I know that I am. But I am Empress Real 1584, the Good Witch. I send to you all nothing but love and light. Cancers, everything is going to be all right. This will be posted on my YouTube platform. But I send to you nothing but love and light. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you to the new followers. Thank you for the gifts. Most importantly, thank you for your time. But I will be uploading this video on my YouTube platform in about an hour. Love and light. Thank you.